Hey guys, welcome back to Fire on the Hill. My name is Matt. If you've never been here before, thanks for stopping by. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Today behind me, I'm going to pile some wood with the old conveyor. Last weekend, after the video, me and my dad split up a bunch of wood. We ended up splitting 4 cord that day. And I'll have to kind of show you after I piled this wood what I'm talking about. But the firewood bucket is not that fast of a process when you have 2 people working the splitter. You fill the buckets up so fast and you spend a lot of your time taking the wood over and dumping it. So what we decided, me and my dad, is I took IBC totes that I had and put them in a group of 4 like you've seen on most channels that use IBC totes, and we filled up all 4 totes. Well, we ended up doing 3 sets of totes. So I have 7 or 8 totes that I now have to load on the conveyors. This part sucks, but because I feel like we were saving so much time splitting and not running the tractor back and forth every time, I feel like we got a lot more done. I have some questions for you guys. This is my first year piling. I've done small piles here and there. Definitely not as tall as this. I'd say that's probably 15 feet tall, maybe 20. I don't know, I hadn't measured it, but we're piling wood now. I try to let the wood dry and then pile on after, just so we're not trapping water or moisture. So we had all those rains from the hurricane or tropical storm that we got, and a lot of this is soaking wet. I've been letting it dry. It's dried for about 2 days now. So I'm going to load up all these IBC totes onto the conveyor and pile it as high as I can. My question for you guys is, do you pile in peaks, or do you just make one big pile and let the water run off? That would be my question, because I really don't know. I know peaks help water run off, but if you have a couple peaks, then you're going to have a valley, and that's where most of the water is going to go and kind of soak that area. Here's the setup, guys. I have the Vito Man 1800 watt power box here. I love this thing. It's strong enough, powerful enough to run this conveyor right here. It's an electric conveyor, and I have it set low right now because I'm trying to get it to reach as far as I can, and then as the pile grows, I'll lift it up and get it as high as that other pile. Right now I just have 4 IBC totes sitting over here because this is all I could get around this without getting in the way of each other. And all the IBC totes have a cutout so I can get to all the wood, no problem. All right, let's get started chucking this wood, guys. All I gotta do is plug this conveyor in to my power box, and then I have this right here, this lever that just pushes it down and engages the belt. And then we're ready to rock. that's what we got so far, guys. That was just from this one IBC tote. I'll tell you what, I picked the hottest time of the day to do this, but this was my only choice because I had to wash and wax my truck this morning, and I have to do that in the shade. So, one tote down and 3 more to go. Y'all might wonder why I'm out here in the middle of the day throwing wood. It's because I have to get this out of the way. So when I split X's, which is today, I'm gonna move this conveyor out and put more pallets down and start throwing with the bucket again. I'd much rather throw with the bucket than do this, but because we don't have that much room here, I have to pile high to get all this wood in here. I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse and you can watch this pile grow. I got all the IBC totes empty, guys, all 4 of them. That would be the equivalent of a cord. I left all the trash in there, so that's nice. Not really getting on the ground that much. We got an even bigger pile now, guys, and pretty happy how it went. I have to just keep throwing a couple pieces on there right where I'm at, and eventually that will fall over and cover that hole. But I'm pretty happy with this. A couple things I'll tell y'all about these old conveyors, guys. If you bought an old hay conveyor or corn conveyor or whatever you call it and made it into a firewood conveyor, obviously we know that those were not made for firewood. So they have some cons to them. My conveyor is the same. I had a couple of jams here and there. I didn't really get on camera because I just wanted to get it undone and go. But I will give y'all some tips on what I've done to help with those jams. And literally a jam takes me, I'm not even kidding, a minute or 2 to unjam and I'm back to work. Before I did this, it took me 30 minutes to find the jam, and it took me another 30 minutes to try to get unstuck or try to get it out of the conveyor. So I'm gonna show you guys what I've done. So just for, if you aren't aware of these conveyors and what they do is a lot of times this piece of wood will get stuck in between the chain, and then that holds it right there. So it's stuck in there. What it does, it goes up and it goes around and inside this channel right here. So all that, so the conveyor, like where the chain is like right here, and then the chain wraps around and comes through here, and it's like a little enclosed channel. Well, what happens is that wood gets stuck in there, and if it's big enough, it'll get stuck in certain places. But if it gets through all the way down here, you could see where there's 2 bars right here that go straight across. What was going on for me is that piece of wood would get right there and jam, and it hit that crossbar right there. And it took me forever to figure out how to get it out before I did this, and it took me forever to find it. So what I did is I cut holes. You can see I got a hole here and I got a hole down there. So one hole in front of these bars right here, and then one after. And what that did is, you can see right here, the hole before lets wood fall out on the ground before it gets to that bar. But if it does, you know, skip this hole right here, it'll hit right there. And then a lot of times when it hits, it'll jam the conveyor will stop, and I can go right there and just pull it out of that hole right there. And also I cut a hole down there where actually majority of the trash goes. So this actually helped clean out trash. I put a hole right here where the drum is, and that's also another easy access point to where, because if the wood gets past this right here, it's going to jam down there just because there's no room. But all I have to do is back it off like this and unjam it, and I'm good to go. Also, I cut a lot up there. I've showed that before, but I've cut the tips off of it. You can kind of see right there on the side, and I cut a hole there just to help. But a lot of times if it's stuck in there, there's no helping, it's going to get in there. So this is kind of like what I've done to help with that situation. One big plus that I'll tell you too, because I know a lot of guys who break their chain. I've never broke a chain because my conveyor will turn off. The motor will surge to my power box and turn everything off before anything breaks. Obviously I didn't design that, but that's perfect because it's helped me. Obviously it's helped me a lot because I'm not breaking chains. If you didn't have a power box to surge or anything like that, a lot of times if you just keep this belt right here loose, even engaged, the pulley will spin and you'll be able to catch it before it breaks any chains. So all in all, I'm happy with this thing, guys. It does the trick. Like I said, I had to make a couple modifications here and there, and it does jam every now and then, but for the most part it works. Before I walk over to the other splitting cutting wood yard, I wanted to say that, so there's 4 face cords there, 1 2 3 4 face cords here. So that's 2 of the 4 cords. The first cord that I split by myself before my dad came, y'all saw that on camera. I did all those dumps. And then if you walk over here, so here's 1 2, and then down there, you can see it right now, that is the 3rd IBC tote. And then what I did, because I ran out of IBC totes, I actually put the bucket right behind them, and it filled that up too. So that's how I was able to get 4 cord last weekend. This weekend, yesterday, me and Everett actually split a cord of wood. So I am officially now 3 cord ahead, because 4 cord last weekend, but you subtract 1 because that's the cord I needed for that weekend. I did a cord this weekend, so that means I'm 3 cord ahead. If y'all remember that massive pile, you could see how much we've gotten through, and we've added some to this. I think we added probably a half a cord of logs here, maybe a full cord, but I'm gonna say half a cord of logs here. So we've been killing the splitting. You can see the trash, guys. I really got to get all that cleaned up. I mean, it's piled straight up to the splitter. But I have a quick way of fixing that, because let me show you where I'm moving the splitter. Like I mentioned before, I'm trying to find a way to use this slab that I have here. It's a 10 by 20 foot slab, and after thinking and considering, I think what we're going to try is we're actually going to move the pergola, splitter, and conveyor, and we're going to set it up right here. So the back of the splitter will be here, the front of the splitter will be there, the conveyor will be here, and then obviously I'll be splitting to my bucket. That way all my rounds will be sitting on concrete if it decides to rain, because that's the only downside to piling big wood like this, is it sits, and if you don't get to it, it gets dirty, it gets muddy, and it's just no fun. So with this, obviously you can see this thing is angled pretty bad. What I'm gonna have to do is lift the left side of the splitter even. That way the log lip comes down even right here, and probably get a platform too where I can stand just where I'm splitting, and that way I'm not constantly leaning towards the top of the hill and falling over and such. And then when I'm putting logs or rounds right here, all this will roll down the splitter. It'll be perfect. So that is the plan for that. I have to get all of this right here split up first before I do that, but I think that's going to be a good location for this splitter. So that's all I got for you guys. I just want to show y'all, here is another new hat right here. This is probably my favorite one, and it's definitely a popular one because I only have one of these hats left right now. I got more on order that I'll have before Paul Bunyan. But yeah, I hope you like what I showed you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.